Again, most honorable gentlemen and delegates, I humbly come before you today, demanding that in the light of our most recent discussions of the separate powers of governance, that we turn in earnest to the executive branch of the future United States of America. I beg you to listen attentively to the argument I set before you. My words have inspired the very documents and writings our independence is built upon. Such esteemed gentlemen as Madison and Jefferson refer to my ideas and writings with questions surrounding the republic and the populace. While many proposals have been presented regarding the election term and re-eligibility of the executive office, I endeavor to offer my own opinion and will refuse to sign any constitution if I believe it to compromise the rights of the people. As my fellow delegate Sherman argues that the executive officer is nothing more than an institution for carrying the will of the legislature into effect, I believe that an executive officer must be elected by the people in order to preserve the rights to liberty. The honorable gentleman from Connecticut simply echoes the lauded and compelling beliefs of John Locke in his second Treatise of Government that says, there can be but one supreme power, which is legislative, to which all the rest are and must be subordinate. We must allow the people electoral privilege. Nevertheless, as I have said before, the extent of the country renders it impossible that the people can have the requisite capacity to judge of the respective pretensions of the candidate. Therefore, election must occur either by state or national legislation rather than by the general public. I would argue that since the executive officer will be presiding over the Union, he should be elected by the national legislature, for these men understand the character and requirements of candidates better than the state ever could. I propose even farther that this chief magistrate of the people will be better suited to serve the independent states and people within, if given a term of 6 years or more, without re-eligibility. The legislature cannot become complacent in its vote and choice of character when a longer term is ratified, for fear of electing a tyrant. They must choose according to virtue and knowledge rather than popularity. Alongside this argument, I have said before that prohibiting re-eligibility is the best expedient for preventing the temptation on the side of the executive to infringe with the legislature for reappointment. Re-eligibility should not be considered or included within the new Constitution. The concept will forge dependency between the executive and legislative branches, compromising the delicate structure of our future government. The independence of the people can only exist if all dependency of branches is banished and the executive, legislative, and judicial branches remain distinctly separate. We must seek to serve the people by appointing an executive officer by national legislation for a term of 6 years without re-eligibility. These ideas will offer the people electoral privilege, allow the virtuous elected officer a term of adequate length to develop his expertise and protection of liberties, and finally, prohibit the officer from abusing his power in a tyrannical rule. Delegates, please consider the stipulation I have presented today. Consider the people most of all and vote for their absolute freedom, protection, and representation, because to disarm the people, that is the best and most effective way to enslave them. Thank you.